Hello everybody, I'm Shirley and welcome to So Too We Begin Embroidery. Thank you for stopping by. Today I am going to do a Easter mug rug. I was trying to think of something to do and it was suggested to me to do a mug rug. And what better time to do it than coming up to Easter. So I'm going to show you how quick and simple a mug rug can be done. A mug rug, if you don't know, because I didn't when I first started embroidering, I had no idea what a mug rug was, had never heard of it. But it's a cute little oversized coaster, if you will, that people make to give as gifts or any type of sitting around your coffee table or your desk or whatever, something to put your coffee on or your mug or whatever it is that you have, your water bottle, whatever. But it's an oversized coaster and they're very cute. They have so many different designs and styles, and like I said, they make wonderful gifts. So today I'm going to go and show you how to do one that is pretty simple. This one does have an applique, and I remember when I first started embroidering, I was very fearful of doing appliques because I thought they were complicated. I didn't understand the process. But once I learned how to do it, I took a course and I learned how to do it, and now it's a breeze. There's a little skill that is required, but it's not hard, and it's something that everybody can do. So if you've never done one, look at my video, give it a try, and I think you'll be happy with the fact that you're able to do a mug rug as well as applique. So with no further ado, I will get started. Well, I have on my cutting table what I will be needing. I need three colors, different colors for the mug rug itself. And I have a brown piece of material and a white piece of material that I'm trying to make up my mind if I want which one I want to use for the applique. I also have some batting, and I have some tearaway stabilizer and some adhesive spray, and of course a ruler. So these are the things that you will be needing in order to complete this design. And I'm going to go ahead and get started, get it hooped, and get to my machine. I have my design up on the screen. I have it all loaded and everything. I'm going to go ahead and trace so I can do the die line. And the first die line is just going to show me where to place my batting. And then the second die line is going to stitch down the batting. And then I will be ready to put the top half of the design on. Now what I always do is have my instructions and my color chart. I don't always follow the color chart because I like to make things the color that I want it to be, especially when it's something that's personal like a mug rug. But what it will do is have each stop of the stitching spelled out in the color chart, so you know exactly where you are in the process. So it's very important, especially if you're new to making mug rugs and things like that, is to follow your color chart and your instructions if it comes with any specific instructions. So I am going to go ahead and trace it out and get my first die line down and my mat, and as soon as I'm ready to put my batting, sorry. As soon as I'm ready to put down the first piece of cloth, then we will move and look at the actual hoop. As I mentioned, I was going to do the die line for the batting and then stitch down the batting, and then I will show you my hoop. But what I forgot to mention, which is important, especially when you're doing an applique, it's very helpful. You see the hand down here. I have selected the hand and it comes up here, and that's a stop. The hand is a stop, and what that means is that When I stitch out this one, the very next one that I stitch where the red little arrow is, after it's done stitching that out, it's going to automatically stop because I put the stop sign in there. And I did that with the first one and the second one, and I'm going to do it with the third one. And so that helps you to not make a mistake and make you go to your next stop, which you may have needed to take the hoop off and trim around like I have to do at what I'm going to show you in a minute, where I have to trim the excess batting off, and you may have to trim some of the material off or trim up the applique or anything like that, which I will show you as we go forward. But this is a handy icon. Again, when I hit it, it goes away, and when I hit it again, it goes to the very next stop. So don't forget your stop sign. That's a very important tool. So what we have now is just the batting, and it has been stitched down in place. This is going to be what I will be stitching on top of with the layers of cloth and the applique and everything, and that goes down first. So the next thing I have to do now is take the hoop off, trim that up, put it back on, and then I'll be ready to do the next step, which would be putting on the other part of the top coat or top layer of fabric. It's always important to read your instructions, because according to the instructions, they do not want me to trim the batting yet. So I'm going to go ahead and do the next stitching, which is the placement stitch for the left side of the hoop of the mug rug. I'm sorry. They want me to do the placement stitching for the left side of the mug rug. So that's going to be my next thing. And so I'll go ahead and start that. I have my hand on, so as you can tell, the machine automatically stopped, allowing me to do the very next step. And the very next step is going to be to do the lay down my fabric so it can get stitched. So I'm going to lay down the fabric for the next one. I'm going to put it close to the edge. And let me check. I'm going to make sure on my instruction that's exactly what they want me to do. To make sure, it says to lay the fabric to cover the entire placement line, which is the left side of the coaster, and secure in place on top of the hoop. Run the tack down stitch for this piece. Cut away some of the excess if you like on the right side. So I am going to let a little bit of it lay over that edge so I can trim it up and make it look nice, but make sure that it does get caught. So I have it down, and then I'm going to go ahead and do my next stitch. And the machine has stopped again, which is great. So now, if I'm not mistaken, I should be able to, okay, what do they want me to do now? Run the placement line for the applique. This is one, um, so they don't want me to trim anything yet, which is interesting because usually by now you're trimming things up. But the next thing is to do the placement for the applique, which is going to be the bunny. Now I am torn between whether or not I want the bunny to be white or the bunny to be brown. So I'm going to put it under the light and see how I like it. Now this is the white material. It's going to be batting under it so it won't show through. And sometimes I've done this where I've had white material and I've doubled it so you couldn't see through it. So that would be a white bunny. Or I can do a brown bunny. And which one should I do? A brown one or a white one? I am leaning towards the white bunny because I think white bunnies are more for Easter. And so I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and do the tack down, the placement stitch for the outline for the bunny. That will be my next one. And again, I just love that stop. That way you have a chance to think about the next step before moving to the next step. Because if I'm not mistaken, the next thing they want me to put down a little batting inside of here so that the rabbit will have a little poof to it to make it really 3D. So I will be laying down a piece of batting. So I have a small piece of batting that I'm pretty sure is big enough to fit, and you can just check. That's why you have your placement line, so you can make sure that you have everything, that all of the lines covered. Then you lay the batting down, and then I'll go ahead and hit the next one. And again, I have my stop, and I almost missed the batting, so the next one will be putting down the fabric. Okay, I decided that I wanted the rabbit to be white, so I have the puff underneath it, and I have it stitched for the applique. And the next thing I'm going to do now is take the hoop off of the machine and cut away all of this excess fabric in here so we can go on to the decorative phase of this before we move over to the right side. So I'm going to trim all of this. You really need a good pair of applique scissors. There are several different kinds you can have. The duck bill is really good, or either a really good sharp small pair of scissors. They have the curved handle scissors, and I'll show you these scissors at the end of my after I've completed making this, so you just have an idea of some of the scissors that you can use. I have some of all of them, and I will go ahead and get this off the machine, get it trimmed up real good, get it back on for the next step, which will be the decorative phase of the rabbit. So the rabbit is all trimmed up, looking cute. Now it's time to go ahead and start doing some decorative stitching on here and make the rabbit really look like a rabbit. I hate these crazy jump stitches. I need to figure out what to do to minimize my jump stitches, because I cannot stand jump stitches, especially when they're big like that. So I always try to get my jump stitches out the way, because I don't like for them to get sewn over and what have you. So you can hit your icon that brings your hoop out, so you can just get in here and clean it up right quick. Okay, that looks good. And then put it back in place, and since it's stopped, I can go ahead and hit the button for the next one. And that will be the ears. I knew it'd be another jump stitch. I guess that's how they digitize it. The face is complete now, and it is a cute little bunny rabbit. And I am glad that I did do it in white because I think it's really cute. I did not double the material because it had the padding underneath it, so I felt that that was sufficient. It wouldn't go through. So I will go ahead and do the next step. The next step is to place the other half of the material on top of the left half. Put the right half on top of the left half with the right side facing down, and have about 1/4 of an inch hanging over, and there's going to be a stitch line here, and then I'll fold it over. So that is the next step. Well, that was a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch, so I'm going to look at this and see if I need to trim it off a little bit. I decided to let it stay where it is because folding it over, you're not going to see it, especially because of the stitching that's going on top of it. So this is already pulled out. I'm going to go ahead and have it go back into place, and then I will be ready to go to the next step. And the next step would be the stippling of this material. So we will get to that. I should have sprayed it a little bit. I think I'm going to do that because I don't want it to buckle up at all. So I'm just going to put a little adhesive spray on the outside so it'll stick to the batting and not yep. While the stippling is being done, then I don't have to worry about it matting up or anything. So we'll do that. Well, actually, I didn't have to do that because it's basting it down, which is perfect. So I'm glad that was the case. It basted it down. So that took care of that. And then I think it's going to be a few more different things. I don't really know what that is. So let me check the instructions. Well, I took the hoop off so I could put batting on the back of the hoop, and now I'm going to place it back on and get ready for the stippling, the tack down of that batting that's on the back and the stitching. So I spray adhesive the back to keep the batting on, and then I'm going to go ahead and it's going to tack it down and then run the stippling. Now this particular mug rug is almost like a quilt. It's got 2 layers of batting, so it's going to be nice and poofy. But that's kind of how, well, that is the design. So now it's running a tack down stitch to tack the batting down. So the batting won't come off. And then the back is going to get covered up. So it's all tacked down. Don't have to worry about the batting coming off now because it's all been stitched. The next thing is going to be putting the stippling design here on the right side. What color is that? That is 6. That's a real light blue. Okay. I was just checking my color because it's a light blue, but I can see it now. I forgot to put the hand in, so it reminds you to always put that stop sign in because it was going to do a step that I wasn't ready for it to do. And so I had to stop it. But as a reminder, if you're doing applique specifically, always put that hand in because that is going to save you from making any type of errors. And I did not want to mess this up. It has turned out really nice so far, and I didn't want to do anything that was going to cause it to have any issues. So the next thing I need to do is turn it over and put the back side on, and then it's going to tack that down. And once it's tacked down, then I can trim all this extra fabric off the back and the front, and it will be ready to run the final satin stitch part. So we're almost at the end. Now, only thing I have to do now is take this off, cut away all this extra fabric, and then it's going to stitch the satin stitch all the way around, and it will be a finished product. Now ready to do the last stop. My cutaway stabilizer, even though I doubled it up and did 2 layers, still broke on me, so I'm hoping I'm not going to have any issue with my stitching when it gets around there. Got my fingers crossed because everything else has been perfect. Well, it seems to be stitching the stabilizer to it, so I think I'm going to be okay. This is the underlayer. Now we're getting ready to do the satin stitching, so we shall see how it's going to turn out. I will show you the finished product when it's done. Well, we're coming to the end. It looks like it's stitched okay. I'll be able to tear the tearaway away. And they said to burn the edges to get rid of the batting that might be sticking out, but I don't have anything to burn it with. I don't have a lighter. I got to get me another lighter. My lighter I had, it's gone. So, but from what I can see so far, I like it a lot. I think it came out really cute. Well, it is done, and it came out really cute. I think that it is very appropriate for Easter. It was very simple to do. It did have a lot of steps with it, but the main and most important thing is to follow the instructions. The steps were simple. It's just having to make sure that you're doing them in the right sequence. And since this one had 2 layers of batting plus a layer of batting for the rabbit, it was also a lot of die lines, which is not always the case. But anytime you have appliques, you're going to have die lines. So I just wanted to make this cute little mug rug, and on the back is orange. Now the one thing I did forget to do, they said to make your bobbin the same color of the backing of the back fabric. I forgot all about that, and but it doesn't matter because my border was blue anyway, so it's blue on the back, blue on the front. I don't have the lighter to go around and get rid of the batting, which I need to do. So when you're doing mug rugs that may have batting or some type of stabilizer like the cutaway stabilizer, what have you, that may continue to have some of it showing, it's good to have the lighter to go around it. So I just wanted to show you this little tutorial. Hopefully it's been helpful. Hopefully you will try to make a mug rug if you've not done so. And I'm so glad that you stopped by to see my little demo of the mug rug. I make them periodically. I've made a few of them here lately, and I have one more that I'm planning on making for a coffee mug, and it's specifically for coffee. This can be done with anything. You can do your teacup with this, but the one that I'm going to do points directly to coffee, and I will show you that. I'm not going to show you me making it, but I can show you the finished product on one of my videos. And I did mention I was going to show you scissors, so let me show you the scissors that I have. These are just a few of the applique scissors that I have. The little tiny ones, I really like these. Has a very sharp point and it gets in tight spaces really well. This one is what they call a curve handle, and when you have your hoop on your machine, be it a multi-machine or a single needle machine, the hoop makes it, the curve or hoop, however you want to call it, allows you to get underneath to cut those, the material and everything that you might want to cut. So this is one. This one is called a double curve. So it has two little curves, so it's really allowing you to get in there. And then of course I have my duck bill. And being left-handed, I have this left-handed one that doesn't cut that well unless I hold it a certain way. But I also have the right-handed one. And the purpose of the duck bill is for the fabric to go on top, and then you cut, so you're not going to cut the fabric. Well, it goes on, the fabric goes on top of the bill, and you cut so you don't cut the fabric, and you're just cutting it away from the thread. So those are just some of the scissors that you can use for appliquing. And it's really important to get good sharp applique scissors. When they get dull, you need to get another pair because they're not going to get in there and get those stitches. So anyway, that's my little tip for today and my little demo for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you will come back for more. Don't forget to subscribe, to hit the like button, and give me that thumbs up, notification bell, and hope to see you the next time I put a video up. Bye.